So, let me tell you why, as a man, you should actually embrace masculinity and reject these modern ideas. Because modern ideas will keep you fat, poor, losing in life, depressed, anxiety, right? All these new ideas are the major cause. But guess what? They never tell you this. At the point of making this video is Men's Mental Health Month. I'll be dedicating my content more towards men's mental health. You didn't know that according to research, and it is intentional, that men, the primary cause of the men's mental health problem is that men want to feel powerful and capable. But guess what? The modern ideas, the modern matrix, the modern ways of doing things intentionally wants to make men weak, wants to make men depressed. Even when men are weak and depressed, guess what? They tell you to speak up, not because they care for you, but because they want you to go and pay a therapist. Or the therapist can recommend you to monitor the drug system. They drug you to make you weak. So this video basically starts out with men being weak, men with nails, men twerking, men becoming childish, men becoming fat. And this is what the society is okay with. But the moment a man stands up to say, this is fucked up, guess what? They attack that man. They attack the man. And if you look at who's attacking the man, sometimes women, feminism, people with some dumb shitty movement. Now, whenever I look around and ask these girls that are shitting on this man for standing up for men, and I ask them questions truly, would you get married to that man who is fat, ugly, depressed, anxious? They'll say no. So what does that tell you? Sometimes these women are just doing what they want to do for the sake of maybe clinging to an activation like feminism. You see content that says, we don't need men. You see content that says, oh, men are trash. And there are genuinely men who are young, who don't believe, or rather, who don't believe that they are needed. Sorry, who believe that they are not needed simply because some women with some large following accounts made such statements. How many of those women grow up to be? And sometimes, what even gets to me is there are women who are in their early 20s who will look up to these women in their 40s and 50s and not realize that these women have basically wasted their own life, basically not what they want to be, and their goal in life is to mislead other women. But again, my brand is to talk more about men and how to enlighten you as a man, right? So, and when we say reject modernity, right, what are these modern ideas that you should reject? One, modern ideas, first of all, will keep you depressed. Let's start with the fold. Modern ideas like men, any idea that basically, the crazy part is that any idea that empowers man is something that is heavily what's rejected. So think about it. They have taken everything that empowers men, flipped it around to do the opposite, and now they've made it look like it's a cool thing to do. For example, men should not really take risks anymore. Men don't need strength. Men don't need ambition. Men should not be ambitious. Think about it. Men should not have dreams. So guess what? A man is there. He has this desire, this potential. You have this potential in you. But guess what? Modern ideas says, don't worry, you don't need those potentials. In short, you'll be better off without those potentials. And you'll be asking yourself, how? Why? Why do I have to think that direction? And I'm here to tell you that all of those ideas are ideas to make you weak. Yes, it all started from feminism. Now, I always tell you in my videos that there's really no point to fight feminism. There is really no point to fight feminism because feminism itself started with good intentions. But along the way, it got hijacked. Along the way, some bitter women, some women who realized that, okay, they are not winning in life, they began to use feminism as a weapon against the young men. And it's very painful because the young men they target are men who at the moment cannot think, where they don't even know who they are, right? This is why men need more men in your life. So the male loneliness problem is not just about men not finding partners, it's men not even connecting with other men. Because a lot of men are inside there, a lot of men are just what? Walking shells, not even knowing why they are alive. So modern ideas, the LGBTQ again. Now I have no issue with gay people. The issue I have regarding that community is the fact that one, our movies have been heavily influenced to force these ideas down the throats of men. So men who were straight before, all of a sudden, guess what? Whenever I hear the stories of how people became gay, I become sad somehow. A guy became gay because he couldn't talk to women, was afraid to talk to women. So guess what? He found it comfortable talking to guys. And guess what? That was his coping mechanism. So if he was gay, quote unquote, from birth, that's his business. But guess what? The media is not programming men to be gay. You know what? You don't need to talk to women. Just go ahead and be gay. Now, the women who, because I have feminist friends who I talk to, because heck, like I said, the goal is not to fight feminism. The goal is to tell men to become men, make them think about it. Anybody that comes out to speak up for men, they attack the person. They call them names. I remember when Andrew Tate was arrested and all the feminist friends I had were laughing at him. I asked one question. What exactly is he in prison for? Even to this day, after years of arresting him, putting him on the news, they have not been able to bring out one particular crime for his arrest. Do you know how crazy that is? They keep talking about an imaginary woman somewhere in the UK, somewhere else. But has she come out? What were the exact reasons? With all those charges they brought out, did they ever highlight him and say this is what he was being arrested for? Even to today, nothing. They keep talking about something imaginary. Until proven guilty, he shouldn't be arrested. We have other men who speak up for men, who are just what? They are shut down, they are cancelled. We have men these days. So my point here is that as a man, you want to feel capable, you want to feel powerful. That's why we say reject these modern ideas that tell you to be weak. Embrace true masculinity. So what does true masculinity feel like? You have courage. You have a sense of purpose, right? You feel like you don't do things because they are the right things to do. For example, is the firefighter who lives with family. He charges into a burning building. That is masculinity playing there. Because women don't do that. If all the men are gone all over the world, what would women do? So it's not about saying we don't need men or we don't need women. It's about acknowledging the fact that we are both needed. That as a man, you have this desire to go out there, to want to do more, to want to be more, to have that courage, to have that discipline. You have it in you already. But now a lot of men are confused out there. You might probably be confused, asking yourself, am I really needed? The truth is that you're very needed. The truth is that these modern ideas, what they do is when they get into your head, the primary aim of these ideas is to get you to stop yourself. That's the irony of this stuff. It's to get you to stop yourself. So the question now is, what would you do? What would you do? I'm telling you to embrace courage, to embrace strength, to embrace ambition. Because there's a reason why, speaking about this, right? There's a reason why the penis goes out and the vagina comes in, receives. Because masculinity, if you look at all objects that are masculine, there's a drive towards something. That means is, as a man, if you're not driving your energy towards something, guess what? You feel depressed. That is the major source of depression, anxiety in men. You have this desire in you, but you cannot express it. So when women say he's not expressing himself, men don't express themselves by talking. They express themselves by directing their energies towards something, towards a goal. I remember one video from Jordan Peterson where he says, they ask him, is it good to be a man? Is it okay to be a man? He says no. It is necessary to be a man. At that moment, I felt like, I'm people feeling like those shivers, I'm feeling like those goosebumps, my head are standing up right now because of that message of it is necessary for you to be a man. So what that means is, guys, it's necessary for you to remove these ideas. So what should you do? The first step I'll tell you is, I will not specifically tell you this is what you should do to be a man, because whether I like it or not, it will be me inflicting some dumb ideas into your head, instead what I want you to do is get it from spirit, right? Get that masculinity from spirit. And if one thing that works for me is solitude. Being able to just sit down and listen to what kind of desires are grooming in me. So I'll tell you the first step is what solitude. That has worked for me and has worked for other people. Be able to go down and think, right? These feelings I'm getting, this expression I'm getting, where are they driving me towards? What's that energy driving me towards? And by the time you begin to realize that solitude is very powerful. Again, they don't want men. So male loneliness is not the same thing as solitude. It's not the same thing. The whole idea I'm telling you, that solitude is for you to take a step back and realize that you have this potential, this desire in you. Because whether I like it or not, if you never embrace that solitude, you keep getting distracted. I could tell you go to the gym, start lifting weights, but those things are okay. Yeah, they work. Learn your skill. It works. It's good, right? Learn your skill, have a relationship, bring back romance, be confident. All those things are good. But if you never ask yourself deep questions, you keep living in a shell of something that I have designed for you. So first of all, solitude, right? Go out there, embrace. But while you're in solitude, try to figure out who you are, right? Try to figure out what's your purpose. Then you can begin to embrace other ideas like what? The things that I would say I like about masculinity is I got this idea from Psych Hacks. It says there are two things you need as a man. Even if you don't have muscles, you don't have beards, you don't have billion-dollar account, two things you need are, one, a spine and a pair of balls. A spine means that, no, figuratively, a spine means that you can stand up for what you believe. Think about it. How many men today can stand up for what they truly believe without the fear of being cancelled, without the fear of being insulted? And the second thing is the balls. The balls, in this case, it means the audacity. And if you look at my short form content, right, sometimes my short form content does not sit well with women, right? But guess what? Women still come to me. And I don't say this as a way of bragging because at some point, if you watch my vlogs, you get to realize that I don't really see the need of having a high body count for you to brag with it. Does not mean that I don't have a body count. I'm somebody who can tell you this because I have been there, right? And I can say that with confidence. But one thing I'll tell you is, I think I've lost my train of thought there. Hold on. What was I thinking? Yeah, so my videos are not scripted. I just have like a couple of points. So yes, the balls. The balls is just the audacity. Sometimes when I meet women and women say, oh, what did you mean by, what do you call it? Men should be strong. And I tell them what I mean. Do you know what? The irony is that they tell me that after like back and forth conversation, not arguments, conversation, what I mostly hear is, you have the audacity. That audacity in a man is very attractive. Even if they come to you, because women will come to you. I remember when I was talking to this girl, I was like trying to talk to her to get to know her more, and she saw my content. Ironically, we go to the same gym. Then she was like, all these things that I say in my video, I should come and say it in her front. And I'm like, I got to her front, I was like, what do you want me to say in your front again? She completely froze because she knew I was going to say it. So the whole point is, as a man, women would always test you. Women would always push your boundaries. But modern ideas will tell you to crumble whenever your ideas are tested. Modernity will tell you to be a shell of yourself. I'm telling you to know. Have the spine to stand up for what you know is true. And guess what? That is how societies grow, when the men stand up. Show me any society that has grown in this life, right? Till this day, there's no men who are standing up. And I read something somewhere that blew my mind. It says, if you bring a population of men, and you cannot count 10 great men, that population is a dying population. That population is about to go extinct. And this did not come from what a businessman. It came from a spiritual book. That means that masculinity has to do with spiritual conversations, has to do with the spirit. So whenever the men are not in tune with their spirit, what that means is masculinity does not start with the physical form. It starts with the spirit. You have a spine to stand up for what you believe in. Do you have the balls, the audacity to even say it and believe those things? Right? A lot of men these days, they have ideas forced down their throats thanks to modernity. And those ideas are making you depressed, anxious. Right? It makes you feel less empowered. And me, I'm just telling you this. You have to empower yourself. Right? Seek solitude. Get to know who you are. But while you're seeking your solitude, go ahead. Work on your body, because a strong body is actually close to a strong mind. Learn how to fight, because there's only so much the gym can do to you. Learning how to fight is a different ball game because it will sharpen your mentality. I used to go to the gym for years, but me learning how to fight now is a completely different ball game. I must tell you. I'm currently doing mixed martial arts in my vlogs. I'm currently doing I'm doing boxing, and the amount of philosophy, the amount of mental clarity and mental toughness I'm getting from just training alone is completely different. Knowing fully well that I'm going to get into the ring, right? And I have to be present in the ring. I have to have that courage. So for masculinity, you have courage, you have discipline, you have ambition, you have the ability to take risks, you have the ability to even what? There's romance in it, there's stoicism in it. Although stoicism these days has been abused by short form social media or viral creators who just want attention. What else is there in masculinity? There is basically that's it. The ability to take risks, the ability to stand up tall with your shoulders back. So, bro, what you should do is, for the content you're going to consume regarding masculinity, go for content creators that have ideas that work for them. Don't go for content creators just because of what they want money. Because these days, like my video I made yesterday, we are too focused on looks these days in this world. We are too focused on looking the part, not being the part. But being masculine is you being the part, not looking the part. My name is Tonore. I wanted to share this video with as many men as possible because it's obvious that the modern ideas are not working for men at all. The modern ideas are keeping men sad, poor, broke, everything you want to call it. So I think I might make this video again. So something, declare a message or something. But yeah, please share this video with somebody else who you find it helpful. Word of mouth referrals gets the channel to grow and makes me realize that there are more men out there who have this strong calling, this strong spirit to reject the modernity and embrace true masculinity. And that's all I want to do, help men become better versions of themselves. Talk to you soon, and bye for now.